I want to talk to you about an issue in what I call Recovery Matters. I'm going to be doing a whole series on these things, and one of the things that I've done in Recovery Matters is obviously written this book that I have called 12 Stupid Things That Mess Up Recovery. And I want to kind of highlight one of those things and talk to you about it because I think it's so important. Stupid thing number 3 in my book says, pursuing recovery with less energy than pursuing addiction. See, I really believe that we have to pursue recovery with the same tenacity, enthusiasm, and commitment that we had when we were using or drinking. If you don't, then it's not going to work. You've got to be able to be willing to go to what we say any lengths to deal with your addiction. And if you do anything less than that, it's just not going to work. Let me give you an example from my own life. It's kind of a funny one, but also was quite a dangerous one. I was on Hill 55 in 1970 in Vietnam, and I heard that Woodstock was going to be shown at the PX in Da Nang City. Now, Da Nang was about 15 kilometers north of where I was at on this fire base called Hill 55. So I wanted to, get to Woodstock, get to the film or see the film right from the beginning. I didn't want to wait until, our convoy would go in, which was going to be about noon, and I think the film was starting at noon, and it took us about 45 minutes to go from our fire base into Da Nang. So I came up with a scheme that almost cost me my life, but this is how strongly I was committed to going to any lengths to party. Because the reason I want to go watch Woodstock was because I was going to bring some dope in and get high during the whole film. That's what I was interested in doing. So what I did is we had a barber come out from the community on a little Vespa scooter. So this Vietnamese citizen came out and cut our hair, right? So I asked him if I gave him, I forgot what it was, a carton of cigarettes or something like that, would he give me a ride into Da Nang? He said he would. So he finished cutting our hair around 11 o'clock. I was going to meet him outside the gate, and he was going to take me into Da Nang, and I was going to get to see Woodstock from the beginning. And then I'd just drive back with everybody in the convoy later on that afternoon. Well, he met me at the gate. I showed up. I had my flak jacket on, my helmet. I had my M16 with extra ammunition because I'm now going to be going through all of these villages, and we knew there was a lot of Viet Cong activity in these villages. I had my M1 carbine that could go on fully automatic on my side. I had my .45 caliber pistol. I was ready for what I thought was anything, but just think about that for a minute. I'm going to be riding on the back of a scooter through enemy territory alone? Boy, I wasn't very thoughtful, was I? Anyway, I did it. Halfway there, he said, I got to go this way, you got to go that way. So he lets me off the scooter. I've got to now walk another several miles to get in town. Now, I truly believe that the only reason that the Viet Cong did not ambush me and capture me is because they couldn't believe that one Marine would be walking alone. They had to believe that this was a setup and that there was a platoon of grunts somewhere just waiting to come out when they ambushed me, and then they would be taken prisoner. The other funny thing is, and this is ridiculous in many ways, is just how poor my judgment was, how impaired my judgment was when I was using. That the guys left early to come to the PX that day anyway. So I'm walking towards Da Nang City, and our convoy pulls up. The gunnery sergeant looks out at me and says, "Berger, I don't even want to know what you're doing here. Get in the truck." Well, I did. Now, I'm so grateful that nothing happened to me because I could have easily been killed or taken prisoner that day. And that was just many of the things that I did when I was drinking or using. I would go to any lengths to do what I wanted to do. If I am not willing to do that in my recovery, then it's not going to work. I hope that you make a commitment to go to any lengths, that you pursue your recovery with the same tenacity, with the same commitment, with the same energy that you pursued getting high and partying. Visit my website bookstore for resources on recovery matters and relationship matters.